Tuesday night to play Boston. The Celtics have the NBA's best record at 21-6. The Chargers hold off Miami for a 23-17 win at SoFi. Congratulations to the 12-1 Philadelphia Eagles. They are the first team this season to clinch a spot in the NFL playoffs. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP Wins or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. Over the course of this year, I have delivered a number of editorials about the troublesome case of LA City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas. In each editorial, I laser focused on three bedrock principles of our democracy: due process, the presumption of innocence, and fundamental fairness. The recent settlement of Ridley Thomas's compensation claim is a major victory for due process, the presumption of innocence, and fundamental fairness, to which we are all entitled. This settlement represents a tacit acknowledgement by the city of Los Angeles that City Controller Ron Galperin, aided and abetted by City Attorney Mike Feuer and former City Council President Nury Martinez, who was forced to resign in disgrace, excessively abused their power. Their actions were not just legally wrong, they were harmful to Ridley Thomas's legal defense. You cannot accuse an individual, take away the seat to which they were duly elected, their health care in the midst of a pandemic, I might add, their pension and their salary, then tell them that while they are suspended, they cannot earn outside income, and somehow expect that they will have the resources to fight and defend their good name. It was preposterous then, and in retrospect, it's even more outrageous now. Much of the blame for this travesty of justice rests squarely on the shoulders of Nury Martinez, who allowed her personal political ambitions, racial animosity, and thirst for power to override good governance and good judgment. It was abundantly clear on that now infamous leaked audio tape that Martinez wanted to punish and tarnish Ridley Thomas. And she did, but she ruined herself in the process. Big Mama always said, God don't like ugly and he ain't fond of cute. Once Nury Martinez's toxic leadership was no more, the council quickly and correctly moved to resolve an injustice born in part by their own rush to judgment and abdication of responsibility in performing due diligence. Their settlement action this week starts the process of restoring honor and trust. In March, Ridley Thomas will finally have his day in court and a chance to restore his good name. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your comments.
My spirit saying keep the faith. My lyrics say give them hell. My fears saying I need a break. The foot I put on neck saying keep the pace. Smile say I'm good, but stomach say I ain't eating days. Mom saying dream bigger, son, you need a lake. Pop saying save your penny, son, you need a place. My friends saying keep it pimpin' blood, you need a race. My fam starting this tradition now of being safe. My ex picking now to tell me how she want a space. She be stressed if I ain't text her every couple days. She ain't special, ain't no pressure when you run the game. Another extra in my section when I'm up at Dre's. Talk to me nicely, walk through is pricey. Till my mom's in the hills and Lil bro them icy. Jesus hand on the wheel, it feels like a vice grip. If I ain't give you the chills, I failed, there's alright this. My brother wears heart on his sleeve. His only motivation now is loving his seed. We at Cuzzo graduation, manifesting our dreams. It's alright the homie Lock who should've played in the league. Man, it's hard being the vocal. The only one scoring get ball to me when I'm open. They guarded me and I'm stroking from hard and deep in the ocean. This dream take guts, heart, arteries, and devotion. Swear to God, yo, count up my bad days, count bad my past ways. Cause sometimes my pride just wanna leave me alone. Cause home don't even feel like how we used to feel, dog. For real, Father Time just wanna leave me alone. Come on. Shorty got your seed now, Daddy put the streets down. But meanwhile, chicks won't leave me alone. Let's go. Someone keep it real with me, follow up and build. Yeah. With the steel down, the vibes won't leave me alone. Hey, yo, I like what it's going.
KBLA Talk 1580. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap that mic. That's Miles Lowe. Miles Lowe Music is where you can find him on Instagram, wherever you get your music. Support a young brother. He's part of our KBLA delegation, keeping things smooth around here. I'm Dominique DiPrima. It's time for a deep dive. We're doing two parts today. We're talking money, the B side of the hour, as Tavis would say. And right now we're talking with my colleague. She is the host of This Is Not a Drill, Saturday mornings on KBLA. She is also a professor at Cal State Los Angeles, formerly the head of the Pan-African Studies Department there. She is an organizer, lead organizer with BLMLA, and the director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots. Melina Abdullah, PhD. Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Dominique. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for always jumping on the mic. First of all, I want to talk about Black Xmas because I think a lot of folks don't know what it is. And Black Xmas applies to not just Christmas, Kwanzaa, your own personal splurge, New Year's, whatever, your engagement party, whatever you're spending money for, right?
That's right. Black Xmas is the season between what they call Black Friday and January 1st, where we've been encouraging people to really harness the power of the Black dollar and be intentional with how we spend our money. So we say build Black, buy Black, and bank Black. Don't be whipped into a consumerist frenzy and asked crazy questions like, what do you buy for the person who has everything? Well, if they have everything, you don't buy them anything. Right? They already have everything. So if you want to honor someone who has everything, think about donating to Black organizations that do incredible work in their honor. You know, maybe you want to give something to your mom, but she doesn't need anything else, right? But she's a supporter of the arts. Well, right around the corner from KBLA, we have the Fernando Pullum Performing Arts Center that teaches Black kids music, free music lessons, free performing arts lessons, free dance lessons, after school programs, and summer programs where these kids aren't asked for a dime and they are really, really nurtured. So donating your mom's name to Fernando Pullum, or maybe your uncle is really upset about how Black communities are living unhoused in Los Angeles. You can donating your uncle's name to Los Angeles Community Action Network. And at our Black Xmas website, we even have downloadable cards so you can actually hand them something and say, this is what I did for you for this holiday season. So we're encouraging people to build Black. And then if you do need to buy them something, be intentional about buying Black. So also on our Instagram page and our website, we have a pretty healthy list of Black-owned businesses that you can patronize over this period. And we know Black businesses are struggling, that during the pandemic, about 40% of Black-owned businesses permanently shuttered. We want to make sure that the ones that survive and some new ones that are growing are supported by Black people. So that's our Buy Black, and every single day on our Instagram page at BLM Los Angeles, we profile a Black-owned business of the day. And then the last piece is Bank Black. Everybody's seen what these white corporate banks have been doing to Black people, not just, predatory lending, but also how they treat their own customers. People saw that video that went viral where Wakanda Forever and Black Panther filmmaker and also Fruitvale Station filmmaker Ryan Coogler was had the police called on him by a Bank of America branch because they thought a young Black man shouldn't have that much money in his accounts. And so we want to make sure that instead of letting them hold our money, why don't we let Black banks that actually support Black community, like One United Bank, hold our money? So that's what we do for Black Xmas.
Mm. Yeah, and I think if folks want to track it, they can just go to the website, or they can go, I guess, on IG or even Twitter and find out some of the businesses and some of different ways to build black and what that really means.
That's right. So the Build Black tab has a pretty exhaustive list of black organizations in Los Angeles to support. The Buy Black tab is really fun because I bet you didn't know there's a black-owned skateboard company, right? I bet you didn't know that there's black-owned movers, right, if you're moving this holiday season. And so you can find a lot of different black-owned business that you might not have known existed by going to the Buy Black tab.
Mm. I guess Garcetti already moved out. So I guess Garcetti already moved out, so he probably doesn't need them black movers. But just in case,
right.
Mary Emeritus, there's a black-owned moving company. You can be a real ally.
And our new mayor, maybe she needs help moving in.
Yeah,
right?
maybe
so. blackxmas.org. blackxmas.org.
All right, we continue the conversation with Melina Abdullah, Ph.D. I want to talk about what's going on and what went on over the weekend with disgraced racist city council member Kevin DeLeon. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
Courage is contagious. We're KBLA Talk 1580. Ho, ho, ho. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Where do holiday happenings take over every aisle? Lowe's, actually. Right now, you'll save big on everything you need for the holiday season. Get up to 50% off select pre-lit Christmas trees and holiday living LED string lights. Plus, save on your gift list with up to 50% off select tools and accessories. The holidays are here, and so are the savings. Only at Lowe's. Offers valid through 12/14. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Melina Abdullah, Ph.D. Dr. Melina Abdullah is with me. So let's see. I don't even know where to start. I guess we start Friday with the council meeting. Kevin DeLeon, the disgraced council member, shows up there and packs the place with his supporters.
Right. And we know that we've been showing up at city council meeting ever since that leaked audio tape revealed Gil Cedillo, Neri Martinez, and Kevin DeLeon conspiring against Black Power. And regularly, we're locked out. We're told that the meeting is full, that chambers are full, and then the folks who are able to get in look around the room and pan the room, and the room is, 2/3 empty. So I guess Kevin DeLeon had planned his return. It's interesting that it comes 60 days, almost exactly 60 days after his departure, because we know at a certain point it's counted as abandonment. and he'd no longer get a paycheck. So he comes and he packs the room with his supporters, but we know that his supporters are also folks who may have a vested interest in Kevin staying in city council. And so we show up as well. Protesters chant Kevin out of the room, and we're also really appreciative at the principled way in which Mike Bond and Marquise Harris Dawson and Nitya Raman kept their pledge that if DeLeon showed up, they would leave. So they left, broke quorum. No city business could happen while Kevin DeLeon was in the room, and then he left and disappeared, and nobody could find him until later that night. And then folks have seen the video of what happened when he was chanted down at his event.
Yeah. So, okay. So just, I want to get to that. In fact, maybe we should start there because I don't want to run out of time. I saw the full tape finally on Twitter of the confrontation between Reedy, Mr. Reedy, and Mr. DeLeon. And to me, it looks like DeLeon is the instigator. I'm trying to figure out why. Two things that baffled me. One was why the council president, Kerkorian, took DeLeon's side without any investigation. He just publicly said that, he was siding with DeLeon. And secondly, why isn't he being arrested for assault? I feel like if any protester would have done on tape to DeLeon what he did to Reedy, that protester would be in jail right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to also remember the other thing I want to lift up is that, DeLeon is a public official. And to confront or chant down a public official, I've seen a lot on tape that he was invading his space. They don't get their personal space at public events. They signed up for this job. They should be confronted. We need to remember that Kevin DeLeon demonstrated anti-Black racism, and I really honor Jason for the way in which he's used his time. He's taken his time. He's committed himself. He's a new father. He often comes to city council meetings with his baby strapped to his chest because he believes that we should have racial justice and social justice and economic justice in the city of Los Angeles. So we should be celebrating Jason, who I'm proud to say is a member of Black Lives Matter and one of our most active members. And so, he had the right, and he stepped up and stepped into that responsibility of challenging Kevin DeLeon. On the video, you hear him saying, "Resign, Kevin, resign," trying to get him to resign after those racist remarks and racist actions that Kevin took. And then Kevin absolutely acts as an aggressor, throwing Jason over a table. Jason clearly has his hands up to show that he's not going to hit him, punch him, anything like that. And Kevin takes that opportunity to grab Jason and throw him over a table and then push him further down a hallway. Kevin, I'm an abolitionist, but, if somebody belongs in jail, it's definitely Kevin DeLeon.
Well, here's another thing. I mean, if you look at the tape, the longer version, Kevin DeLeon is already out the door. If he would have kept going, he had already gotten out the door and away from Reedy. If he would have just kept going, that never would have happened. It appears that he turns back and confronts Reedy, and then you can't see everything, but it certainly looks like he is the instigator. My understanding is that makes a difference under the law, but it seems like this guy, there's no consequences. And not only that, the LA Times today has him whining and his supporters whining about how he doesn't feel safe anymore and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Then resign and go away. You'll be very, very safe. No one will bother you. We won't even be thinking about you. And, the discourse is turned into a discourse about whether protesters are causing city council members to need security details. Well, tell me what other city council member needs a security. Oh, they did mention Tracy Park because of the protests against her and her policies. But protesting someone's policies doesn't make you unsafe.
Right. And if you don't want to be confronted about your racism, don't be a racist. How about that? So we need to remember that these people signed up for these jobs. Kevin DeLeon signed up for this job, and he has engaged in anti-Black, not just rhetoric, but anti-Black policy making. We can't then be criminalized for standing up for our rights, for standing up for Black empowerment, which is what Jason and what Black Lives Matter is doing. And the reason I keep saying Jason is a member of Black Lives Matter is because what they're trying to do is paint him as some, somebody who's lost control of himself, some crazed individual. No, this is part of Black organizing. He's part of a Black organizing contingent that says we don't have to sit here and swallow anti-Blackness. We have a sacred duty to stand up, and that's exactly what Jason has done, and we're encouraged by the way in which he's committed himself.
I mean, you and I agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on everything. That's fine. But I think we have to really talk about this because I feel like there's a movement afoot among certain council members, and apparently, according to Dr. David Horn, some Black folks that are standing with KDL, to normalize this whole situation and say, well, he had a right because the guy was in his face, or, that some people are too extreme in there. And, Reedy's definitely one of the more rowdy protesters. I'll give you that. But I do think that to just say it's about him is wrong because this is a movement. But I also want to say this. What happened? I mean, yes, it's great that Marquise Harris Dawson, Nithya Raman, and Mike Bonin walked out when Disgraced council member DeLeon shows up. But how long can they keep doing that? At some point, we do have to do the city's business. It's not fair for this guy to just shut down everything. I mean, case in point, we have a state of emergency declared today by our new mayor. And that means they're going to have to move on some stuff. That's right. Well, it is Kevin DeLeon who's holding the city hostage. And I do think that there's more that the city can do. When you talk about people being censured, you can make rules. So the city council cannot fire Kevin DeLeon. But what they can do is make rules for city council themselves. Now, they'd have to also be bound to those rules. But they can make rules for council members who are censured, council members who miss a certain number of meetings. They can make their own rules, and we think that city council should do that because we do want to go on with the business of the city, and Kevin DeLeon shouldn't be able to hold the city hostage. Now, the council has convened a governance committee. I don't know the exact name of it at the moment, that is supposed to be looking at new rules, and at least one council member stood against that because she said, well, we shouldn't be making rules based on an emergency that could come back to haunt us later. Right, and that's what some of the more progressive folks have said. But, there's rules like how many city council meetings can you miss, right? I'm sorry. If I didn't show up for work a certain number of days, I don't care what my politics are. I shouldn't get paid for that job anymore. And, they have to be more courageous and recognize that there's rules that they should also be bound by. Yeah, I mean, I think, I understand it. It's a tough situation for everyone. I don't think it will be fair for us to go after council members for staying on the council if they're doing things we need them to do for the community. I see what you're saying. They need to think outside the box and act. That's why I said, why can't we arrest him for assault? And, then he'd have a felony charge and he could be suspended, just like they did to Mark Ridley Thomas.
That's right. That's right. I think all options need to be on the table, whatever has to be done to remove Kevin DeLeon, who has proven this weekend, right, proven that he's beyond racist rhetoric. This was racist violence.
Well, yeah, I mean, if anyone's out of control, it's him. You've got like a dozen staffers with you, but you feel like you've got to run up and choke someone down. That is completely out of control.
And we have to also remind folks that, again, the rules that hold for city council are not the same rules for individuals and community. Kevin DeLeon signed up for this job. He should be held accountable for what he does. And so, this notion that, he felt intimidated, and people kind of putting themselves in Kevin DeLeon's shoes are forgetting or neglecting the fact that we are private citizens, not public officials. And public officials need to behave in a particular way. Kevin DeLeon has to go.
Oh, my goodness. I want to make sure you tell people if they have a Kevin DeLeon sighting, how they can be part of the Where in the World is Kevin DeLeon.
Yeah, so we, again, Jason was doing precisely what we've asked everybody to do. Don't go on. We don't want to go on with business as usual. If you see Kevin DeLeon in community, if you see that he's hosting an event, if you see him, walking around, we want you to notify us. We have a Kevin DeLeon must go hotline. You can always hit us on our Instagram at BLM Los Angeles or BLMLA on Twitter. You can also inbox us at our website or email us at info@blmla.org. But we also have a hotline. You can call us at 562-285-6578, 562-285-6578 if you know where he's going to be. And we'll roll up and say, Kevin DeLeon resign now.
Yeah, just crazy to see. Well, we don't have time because we only have like 30 seconds. What do you want to say in the last 30 seconds, Dr. Melina Abdullah?
We want to say please stand with Black organizers that are saying Kevin DeLeon must go. Please join us and help us uplift every way. We're using every tool in the toolbox to get rid of this racist city council member. Also plug in with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles at BLMLA on Twitter, BLM Los Angeles on Instagram. Help us with Black Xmas, blackxmas.org. And thank you so much, Sister Dominique, for the time.
Thank you. It's always great to talk with you. Thanks for all the amazing work you're doing and continue to do. We're talking money, yours, when we come forward. It's a Mo Money Monday on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Good morning. I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A major storm is expected to hit many parts of the United States. In the Sierra Nevada, snow is expected to continue falling up to 3 inches per hour. The National Weather Service says the storm is expected to reach the Great Basin and the desert Southwest later today. Those areas could get up to 2 inches of snow in an hour's time, which could make travel very hard. A Libya man suspected in the 1998 bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Scotland is in U.S. custody. A Department of Justice spokesperson told NBC News that the U.S. has taken custody of the former operative accused of making the bomb that brought down the jetliner over Lockerbie, Scotland. And that's the latest. I'm Ray Harris on your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Got a car that rolled over in Chatsworth on the 118 West Main at Rocky Peak Road. Right lane is blocking traffic stops at Topanga Canyon Boulevard. They're trying to clear a vehicle stolen to Toluca Lake. Left lane was blocked 134 West Main for the 101. You see delays from Hollywood Way. And in Hollywood Boulevard is closed in both directions between Highland Avenue and Orange Drive. Got a movie premiere on Wednesday, so it'll be closed at least until Wednesday. Use Franklin or Sunset instead. Vehicles stolen in Bellflower taken up the carpool lane 91 eastbound past Bellflower Boulevard. That's sold from Lakewood.
Perk up your holidays with one of the Coffee Bean's signature holiday drinks, like the Peppermint Mocha Cream Cold Brew with a frosty cream cap, or the Macadamia White Chocolate Ice Blended Drink. Add whip if you're feeling extra. Sip into the holidays and treat yourself at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers got strong performances from LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a 7-point win at Detroit. The win snapped a 3-game losing streak and helped the Lakers finish 3-3 on their 6-game road trip through the Eastern Conference. LeBron led the Lakers with 35 points. AD had a monster game. 34 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. The Lakers are back home Tuesday night to play Boston. The Celtics have the NBA's best record at 21-6. The Chargers hold off Miami for a 23-17 win at SoFi. Congratulations to the 12-1 Philadelphia Eagles. They are the first team this season to clinch a spot in the NFL playoffs. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with one of the panelists, the owner of Kids Love. Take a listen.
So Kids Love, KIDSLUV, is a first-to-market zero-sugar, vitamin-enhanced functional beverage for kids.
So the zero sugar is really important because if not, the sugar gets on the teeth, it can cause cavities. So as a mom, I love this vitamins and hydration in one. Tell us what's happening here with Chase Bank today.
So I would say, I think what Chase is trying to do is create a community actually for entrepreneurs, a place where people can go. They have the space to do it. It's a beautiful space. And to be able to have these conversations. There are so many benefits to being a women-owned and certified business, from a standpoint of getting into stores, not paying the slotting fees of what it takes to be in stores. So I think Chase is trying to bring awareness to a lot of the things that people just don't know about, that not only the bank can help, but outside of the bank, their relationships can help create.
That's beautiful. And I know, this is how we build equity in communities of color, is kind of spreading that information and that knowledge. So thank you for being here today and doing your part and letting these women know that it is possible.
For KBLA 1580, I'm Maisha Cairo in the community with Chase.
In recent editions of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper, read about Karen Bass's plan to curb crime and homelessness. Black merchants purchase a building in Leimert Park Village. The California Task Force to study reparations report. Local HBCU advocates Brandon Miller and Nicole Ford jump the broom. Interior designer Tamara Marie creates environments in people's homes that invoke positive emotions. Black alumni from UCLA and USC's annual joint football tailgate. Introductory aviation and aerospace programs for Black youth. The Handy Foundation trains people of color for behind-the-scenes jobs in the film industry. Black-owned LA Grind Coffee and Tea Bar in Mid-City. And Black-owned 1010 Wine and Events in Inglewood. Read about these stories at www.lastandardnewspaper.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you're here. We're doing our deep dive in 2 parts today, which is fun. I'm happy to welcome in a woman who's dedicated her career to serving and growing the business community across LA. She is a business mentor and coach with JP Morgan Chase, minority entrepreneur and racial equity commitment team. Lisa.Stevens, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Yeah, it's great to have you in. So, I mean, that sounds good, but, when I used to be one of the sidekicks on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, one of the things he said that I love is he'd say, so you go to work and you do what?
That's a great question. I actually go to work and do the thing I love to do most, and it's pretty much that opportunity to where your passion and purpose kind of meet together, and you earn a paycheck for it.
Right.
So I coach businesses is what I do. I mentor, coach, and provide technical assistance to small businesses here in our community. And what that means is kind of we identify key areas to help move the needle forward to level that playing field for our small businesses. And we've identified 5 key areas that we feel that are really helping to drive home that equity to build the community, to build on our businesses. And those 5 key areas we've identified, we try to go with 1 or 2 of them and just pinpoint what does a business need today to be successful and sustainable for tomorrow.
I'm glad you put it that way, business coaching, because small businesses, and I'm going to say a lot of, as a small business owner myself, that's my side job outside of this job, is that a lot of times we just jump in and build the plane while we're flying it, right? I remember when I started my business, I never thought about the fact that I needed a marketing budget.
Right.
Like, how are people going to know about it if you don't market it? I mean, to me, it sounds basic, but I just never thought of it.
You're absolutely right. And, when you're starting a business, the one thing I love is you're courageous. To just say, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do this. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and my dad was an entrepreneur, and I watched him as he built his business. So I love that, we're in this space now, so we can really help guide the plane that you're building. The first thing I would say is determine your entity. What type of entity should you be? And I think the sole prop is really that entry level to a business. Most people go in as a sole prop, but you need to know how long do I stay in as a sole prop, and when do I move out of it. Another advice I would say is just learning how to measure twice and cut once. I think that's one of the most important things is we have to have a focus group and, test your market, test your product. Who am I branding to? And I always say, if you want to have a focus group, get a group of kids, put them around the table. They are very, very honest. And, most important is knowing your budget dollars, right? It's like we step out and we just think that everything is rosy, and it may be. But when you know the dollars you're working with, you're able to budget better. You're able to say, okay, how do I get the most bang for my buck? And the most important is finding your why. I think once you find, why am I doing this? Why am I in this space? Execute with grit once you identify your why.
Finding your why, I think that's the key to just about everything.
Yes.
Why am I leaving the house right now? Because if you're focused on your why, then that overcomes all the obstacles for me, it overcomes my bad attitude because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right. And I think that's important for any business owner. It's going to help you on those days where you feel like you just said, why? Why do I wake up this morning? And even for myself, my why in the space that I'm in gets me up every morning, and I get excited to know that I'm meeting business owners that are out here doing what they love doing, and they're earning a living, creating legacy.
And what do you think is the biggest mistake that small business owners make?
Failing to plan.
Yeah.
Failing to plan. And I think that's key when we look at a business and we just kind of go with what we think we know versus finding out what's there. I think there's so much low-hanging fruit today where business owners can really fill that basket for sustainability. I think there's so much coaching out today. This is that opportunity that strike while the iron is hot. And I think if you arm yourself with the educational piece, you're more than halfway home.
Yeah. So are you talking about a business plan? Or are you talking about after we have the business plan, our day-to-day operations?
Well, you start with the business plan, and you have to have actionable items, have, goals, set yourself with a 30, 60, 90-day plan. And once you have that and you're ready to execute, there's where I think the work starts to happen.
Mm-hmm. So, and this is what you do.
Yes.
And people could actually access these services right now.
They can. And what's so exciting is what we offer at Chase is for the community. Whether you're a Chase client or not, we're out here to really building our community. We provide a one-to-one mentorship, which I really love. It's you and I, as we are today. The business owner will sit across from me and we'll discuss some of the goals that this business owner, what are some of the struggles you're having, and how do we get you on the right path. The coaching is free. It's about a 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on what action item we're discussing at that mentorship meeting. And then what we go from there is we set the next cadence as to how we're going to get you from point A to point B. And we identify 5 key areas, which I really love. We focus on what is your company about, right? We want to know the company management. We focus on business development. Are you certified? There's so many opportunities, and businesses fail in providing the certifications that they need. It's going to help move the needle, give them access to opportunity. We look at who's your team. Did you build a team of trusted advisors around you? Your CPA, your bookkeeper. Who are the who's that's going to help you in those areas that you may not be as strong? We look at access to capital. That's one of the things that we focus on. So we have our 5 key areas, and we want to make sure that we identify those areas and making sure we're moving that struggle out of your pathway.
We're talking with Lisa.Stevens, Vice President, Senior Business Consultant, JP Morgan Chase for Business Racial Equity. Continuing the conversation about your money when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Study reveals barriers to mental health for Black and Latina women in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. A poll conducted by Eviteris, sponsored by Black Women Organized for Political Action and Hispanas Organized for Political Equity, found that 77% of some 800 women participants experienced some form of discrimination due to personal characteristic. More than 3 in 5 respondents have had mental health concerns for which they did not seek care. These same women reported often having had negative experiences with providers. 70% of Black women and 54% of Latinas reported racial or ethnic discrimination. Another 59% of Black women and 55% of Latinas report assumptions were made about their income and education levels. 40% of Latinas reported discrimination based on assumptions about their ability to communicate in English, while 28% reported assumptions about their documentation or immigration status. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Leaving things half done? Not a good option. Like a half-baked peach cobbler.
A gummy crust? I don't think so.
A half-done hairdo.
All done.
Shouldn't the curls be on both sides?
Or a half of a domino.
Bam! Big 6!
But where's the other half? Don't go halfway, especially with your immunity to COVID-19. Keep everyone safer this season by staying up to date with your vaccines and boosters. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find one near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP accident attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
We are for everybody. Doggone it. Lisa.Stevens is with me, Vice President, Senior Business Consultant, JP Morgan Chase for Business Racial Equity. I love the business coaching piece because I talk to a lot of Black business owners that, they're just making up as we go along. Yes. And so how would I access that? And what kinds of different levels are we talking about?
I love that you said we're kind of just doing what we have to do as we go along. I mentioned I was from Brooklyn. My dad was an entrepreneur, and, just watching some of his struggles, I wish the tools that we have available today was available then. We're right across the street from our Crenshaw branch, and our Crenshaw is our community center to where we can have business owners access opportunities. They can walk into the branch and just find out what should I do as a business owner? Meet with our small business specialists. We come with a team, and our team will provide you all that information. For me and our one-on-one coaching, what I really love about what I do is there's really no business left behind. That's the mission of Chase, and we're serving our community. We have programs. My program is one of them, more of a robust program to where, as we're meeting on our one-to-one mentorship, we're finding these businesses that are 2 years in business or more, and they just need that little bit of a push. But we also have on-demand programs, which I love, at chase.com/business. Please make sure you go. There's so much opportunity. And they're on-demand courses of how to start a business, navigating your cash flow, marketing in a digital world. Where should I be branding? You have that on-demand as you like to learn. And then we also have where we have programs with our Women on the Move team to where new businesses start up, just giving you that guidance so that you can kind of work smarter and not harder. And, my dad struggles, or the reason I sit in this seat today, and I said, you know what, we can change this. We can move this needle.
Yeah, so we can do it online if we don't want to commit to this one-on-one.
Yes.
The accountability of a mentor, right?
Right.
So did you do the things we talk about? No. Right? Oh, yeah. Or you could do face-to-face. If they want to access like the face-to-face and the coaching that you're talking about with someone like you, how do we sign up for that? How do we get to do that?
So, chase.com/business. You also can contact myself, Lisa.Stevens at chase.com. But I love what you said about the accountability, and you're absolutely right with the one-to-one coaching. But I've also found that, we wear so many hats. As an entrepreneur, if you're a mom or a dad, now you're a mom-aneur, a dad-aneur, my dad, who I reference a lot, we also took care of his moms, and now he's a son-aneur. And if one of us were to, get sick, now he's a doctor-aneur. So the one on demand will allow you to, as you're, wearing all these hats, I can still grow my business, because not everyone can do the one-to-one, because it is robust, and we hold you accountable, and we have actionable items that you have to execute on. But take advantage. As I mentioned earlier, this low-hanging fruit is here, and it's here for a period of time. And what happens with fruit, it'll rotten if you don't pull it at the right time. So take advantage. We're here in the community, and we want to make sure that we're giving back to the community.
I think it's a great point, because we've been marching, we've been showing up, we have been lobbying, rallying, boycotting, because we want these opportunities and this access. And that's what you're talking about. Some of these doors are open now. We don't know how long they're going to be open.
Right.
So let's walk through them.
Exactly.
Let's walk through them. You mentioned business plan, and a lot of businesses launch without them. Not saying mine, but maybe mine.
Never you.
But if you're starting a business, can you guys help us get our business plan together?
We can. And, also on the website I mentioned, chase.com/business, that is actually links, and it talks to you how to start a business plan. Remember, we mentioned there's some businesses that they're multitasking.
Right.
And if you are multitasking, here you can work at your pace. How to start a business plan, how to start a business, all of these tabs that you can go in on demand at your pace. But if you wanted to talk to someone direct, register. Go to chase.com/business. Scroll down to where it says coaching, one-to-one coaching. Register. We're in different cities across the U.S., and we're having this one-on-one. We have over 45 senior business consultants like myself, and so that opportunity is there. So planning, knowing what's out there, and just taking advantage, just going forward.
Now, if I've already started my business, is it too late to do a business plan?
Never too late.
Really? Darn it. I'm just kidding.
Never too late, because business is always changing.
Right.
Right. You look at the pandemic and how we have a new normal. We're nowhere where we once were back in 2018, 2019. So your business plan should update. Your branding, we have so many different social medias, TikTok now, right?
Right.
We all thought Instagram, Facebook, but you have to stay with the season. So your business plan is constantly upgrading.
So if you never did one and you started a business, you can circle back and do one. Yes. And if you've done one, it sounds like, and your business is hitting a plateau, or it's not, it's just not really working, you reinvent by updating the business plan?
Always. And, I always say find a corporate crush. Find someone in your industry, and you'd be surprised. Businesses love to talk to other businesses and kind of tell them the ins and outs, and you can learn from these businesses, and that allows you to constantly continue to grow. And that's one thing I really love about our program is that educational piece. We're constantly arming you with the education that you need so that when you make these decisions, you know what you're doing, right? You're executing with that knowledge.
Absolutely. We're talking with Lisa.Stevens, and I want to talk a little bit when we come forward, a little bit about recycling black dollars. You know I'm big on that. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talent, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
Geico presents Daily Affirmations. Repeat after me. We are filled with an abundance of joy.
We are filled with an abundance of joy.
Also an abundance of questions. Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service to help answer questions and resolve claims quickly.
Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service.
We are also filled with an abundance of biscuits.
We are also filled with I don't think it works this way.
Oh, and jam. Don't forget jam.
To manifest more Geico in your life, go to geico.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
We are talking with Lisa.Stevens. She is with Chase, JP Morgan Chase, doing a lot of stuff around equity and inclusion. Talk to me about recycling black dollars.
Favorite topic.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites.
Yes, it's my favorite too. In our mentorship program, the goal is to drive revenue, right? And we're driving revenue for Black and brown businesses. If I could encourage one thing this season, I would say find those businesses in your community and make sure we're circulating these dollars. I think about Tulsa, Black Wall Street. I was reading an article where it says the dollar circulated 36 times before it left the community.
Wow.
Now, that's huge. So that means only pennies on a dollar left the community. And I think that's what we need to do is just really find out who are the businesses that we want to support and go after those businesses. One of the things I love about Chase.com is we actually have a page where it's Shop Diverse Businesses, and we host about 40 plus businesses on this page, and these are businesses that have come through our mentorship program. And why do we do that? We're driving revenue. That's what we're in this space, to level the playing field for our minority-owned businesses that didn't have that opportunity. So I'm really glad you asked that question about how do we circulate these dollars.
Yeah, I think some of it is mindset too, right? For recycling Black dollars, but also for ourselves as entrepreneurs and individual stewards of our own finances. We have the stereotype that we can't do this, or we don't know it, we can't learn it. Obviously, somehow you learned it.
Yeah, and it is. It's like how we learn is it really kind of channels into the things that we do. And I would say, and I do want to mention this one other thing. When you spend your Black dollars, and when you circulate these Black dollars, even if you pay $1 more, if you pay 20 cents more, you're fueling your economy, and that's the one thing. If you want to learn about Black dollars, read about Tulsa. Read about Black Wall Street, because that's where we are, and that's the area of space that we should be operating in. So that's one thing I would encourage. And just as business owners, if you're out here and you feel like you're struggling or there's some challenges, you're not alone. I do want to encourage you, log in to Chase.com. We are very intentional in this space. This mission is to drive equity, and I'm excited. I'm with Chase 17 years, and I get to do this. Yes, I get to do this. I wake up with excitement on who's the next business owner that I'll meet, who's the next business owner that I can help move the needle and just bring revenue into families and create that legacy.
Right. I mean, that's when we talk about generational wealth. It has to start there, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell us again how to access these programs. I mean, it sounds like a lot of like free education, actually, that's available. And some guidance as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so chase.com/business. On this page, if you scroll down, you'll see an area that says minority-owned businesses. Click the link, log in the information, no matter where you are. And I always encourage, if you're here in California and maybe you know a business in New York or somewhere in Seattle, Ohio, we're across the nation, right? So you want to make sure that you are logging in. Tell a friend. This is how we grow. Tell a friend what we're doing here. And also on that page, you'll see all of these on-demand opportunities, different, networking events. Get involved. Don't think you're alone, because you're not. You don't have to be alone unless you choose to be alone. We're here for you.
Well, Lisa.Stevens, I hope that you'll come back and join me one day. I really want to focus on credit.
Yes.
And on that note, just a tiny reminder, while you're shopping for the holidays, you don't have to get everything. That's where budgeting comes in, right?
Exactly.
Budgeting, credit.
Yes.
I think we need to do a follow-up show on that.
That'll be exciting.
Credit, it is a game, right? I mean, and we can master it.
Right. And we have the tools. We have the tools to help you there. And that's part of one of our pillars, just understanding your business credit, your personal credit. So I'm excited about that piece.
Maybe I need to take that workshop. Okay, it's time to pass the microphone to Tavis Smiley. Lisa.Stevens, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank
Appreciate
you for having me.
I'm going to, I like to leave with a little something, a little words of wisdom. I'm going to go to Jim Brown, because he actually was a big Black business proponent. He was my first customer at my business. And he says, success is a journey and not a destination. So check that out. I'm Dominique DiPrima. If you haven't done so yet, please get our app and you can listen to all of my podcasts, all of the shows that you have missed. History is now, and we are making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.